Good morning, everybody. My name's Tracy Lewis. I work for Bristol City Council and I'm a learning development consultant. Part of my role is actually the management of the contract with the learning management system. And I also am a super admin user, so I can support Alex and obviously cover him when he's on leave or if he's got other commitments. Hopefully by the time I do need to do that, I will remember my way around the system. But that's it. And I thought it'd be quite a nice idea to sort of explain a little bit about our journey and how we've become customers of MHR. So we've had a learning management system in the council for probably about 12 years. Up until signing our contract with MHR, we were with a company called Learning Pool. They had a very good system, lots of functionality, etc. But we did find that over the years, we'd actually compromised a lot of the data in the system. With the interfaces we were sending in to the back of the system, which seriously hampered our ability to use some of the functionality that was available to us. And we also, because we'd been customers of theirs for quite a long time, we're advised by our procurement team that we did need to go out to tender. We couldn't just extend the contract. So we started looking round, and fortunately we were contacted by MHR, or we contacted them, I can't remember which way round it was, and they provided Alex and myself with a demo of the system. They also provided us access to like a test site so we could have a little play with it, which I'd forgotten about. And we were really impressed with the system, what it could do, what it looked like. The functionality was as good as, if not better, than what we already had. So eventually we went out to tender, and MHR won the contract on both quality and value. And so they offered us a really competitive price. And then we commenced our implementation. I can only thank MHR for all the support that they gave us. They devised a plan for us, which they married in with the plan that I sort of provisionally set up as well. So we were all on the same page. They provided a fab consultant called Beth Fear, who actually ran weekly 3-hour sessions for us for 6 to 8 weeks. So we could actually really get to know the system. We built our own platform so we could brand it the way we wanted. We could, have it the look and feel exactly what works for Bristol. And the other thing she did as well was recorded those sessions and actually hosted them on our LMS. So if ever we need to, we can actually go back and, review those materials as a really good refresher. We also had access to what they call the Decebo University, and that is jam-packed with useful tools and resources and videos. So you really do feel by the end of that 8-week period that you really know the system really well and can use it to its full functionality and its best ability. I think I'll hand over to Alex now, who can explain who he is and what his role has been in this.
Yeah, cheers, Tracy. I'm Alex Robert Shaw. I'm from Bristol City Council as well. My role is the Digital Learning and Development Advisor. So I was brought in and joined the council to look after the LMS. Tracy and one of our other colleagues have been looking after it as part of their roles, and it expanded and grown. And so I think there was the case to be made to bring somebody in to just work on it exclusively. And I've been really lucky to have that job. My background's education, and I've had to learn a lot of technical stuff fast, which was really useful. But when we joined when we met with MHR to see the demo, I can remember sort of thinking, well, there's a lot of stuff here that would be really nice to have. And I think I used the phrase cautiously optimistic when we sort of went to
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic because, like Tracy's saying, our LMS before was good enough. Like it wasn't broken, it wasn't terrible, but there was a lot of things that would just be, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be able to do this? Or it'd be great if we could just have that. And that whole feeling of, well, the reality is we're a local authority. We spend the taxpayers' money, and we have to do that in a really cautious and conservative way. And when MHR presented this, and the price was right, the product was great, I partly went, seems a bit too good to be true, but actually, so far so good. We've had everything that we were kind of promised. Really, I don't think there's been anything that hasn't kind of transpired. Certainly where we've had questions or queries, they've been really supported. Particularly Beth, our consultant, was amazing. The sessions she ran were really personable, really friendly. It felt like a friendly conversation with a couple of mates or colleagues rather than formal learning. And I think one of the real advantages was her style was really intuitive in terms of what you should learn first. Her style was really friendly in the way that we felt comfortable asking questions or saying, no, I don't get it, which you don't always get. Sometimes you can feel under pressure to just go, yes, I get it. But we never felt rushed. We never felt uncomfortable asking a question or saying we didn't get it. And then the system itself married that. It's got an intuitive style. In terms of the user management, that's so much easier now. As Tracy was mentioning before, we've not really had the opportunity to share this resource as much as we can now because of the user management features. In terms of setting up courses, that's a little bit more intuitive, and because I'm doing that, I'm really pleased with that. I don't think it really affects anyone else too much, but it does mean more courses can go up sooner. We can develop micro learning for departments like our data protection, info security, who want to do a quick micro learn. And what's really cool is if they do that micro learn and they want to target a department or they want to target a team or whatever, we can do that. We can just assign it to those people. Whereas on our old system, it was very much all or nothing. So we could assign courses to people as long as it was a course everybody had to do. Other than that, we didn't really have that opportunity to be as targeted and personal. And I think what I was saying before, about the emailing things, we can also pick one course that just shows an interest or a need and say to those learners, you've signed up to this course, there's no obligation to, but we just wanted you to know we've got a new course coming out now. It's a similar thing, it might help you develop. We thought you might be interested. Here's the link. And just giving them that personal contact, which, as an LMS admin, I don't think I was going to have that. And coming from an education background, I kind of missed that a little bit. So it's nice to feel like you're building a rapport with our learners, not just facilitating the learning itself. And then just some of the integration, like the way that we can set up a meeting or a webinar on Teams, bring the link through and set up an ILT. And then when that's set up, if somebody joins that session and clicks on that button to come through, it brings them straight through into Zoom or Teams. But in the LMS, it marks their attendance. For our admin, that's amazing. Before, it was a manual process of coming back after the session with a register and then ticking them off manually. So it's phenomenal to be able to sort of say, yeah, these people have attended because they clicked a button. We know that they've gone to the session. It's great. And just that whole integration, again, it's kind of the theme of it. It's intuitive. It's got an intuition to it. It's really easy to kind of set up a new page, target a group or whatever, and go, here's your thing, or here's that thing as well. So yeah, my experience has been we've been able to take something which can be really impersonal, like online learning, and make it personal, make it feel like it was made for colleagues by colleagues, and make it feel like we're not this faceless entity. You can approach us if you need a bit of help as well, and that's definitely part of my role, helping our learners, and this system really facilitates that enormously. So yeah, that's my experience of the LMS too. But
It's
yeah, I think
probably it's probably worth mentioning as well about the procurement that we carried out, because Alex and I obviously were both involved, but I also included other parts of other managers and other users across the business, both who wanted to use an LMS and or already use the one that we had, because I thought that would be really useful. And it would also make sure that our procurement was fair and transparent. We did you know, lots of questions were asked, and I think all of them, to the last person, are delighted with the system we've got. In particular, our Trading with Schools team, who were never able to access Learning Pool because of our licensing restrictions. We're now working closely with them to actually open up that opportunity for school staff and you know, people like that. So you know that it's sort of, it not only is it good for our workforce, but it can be expanded out for other people who don't come within the, if you like, the council family. We have said to them that if they start, you know, if we start getting an impact on monthly users, they will have to pay for the additional traffic to the site, and they're absolutely fine with that. Oh, there was something else I was going to say then. And did I say about COVID? I can't remember.
Oh, we haven't talked about COVID, have we? Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, and that was another massive benefit is we found since COVID hit and everybody started working at home, the traffic to the sites increased because obviously virtually all learning and development is done virtually now. And the feedback we've had from users is they really like the system. They're finding it really easy to navigate. Our user numbers have really gone up. And people are not only doing what they have to do, their mandatory stuff, they're actually starting to explore other things. We did our go live, if you like, our implementation in 2 phases. So the first phase was just to make sure the system worked and it was set up correctly, that users were all in there, that the users could all access the site. And there was a lot of things that weren't actually available to us at the time, not least being the fact that we weren't on the right version of our HR and payroll system. So that prevented some of the things we wanted to do. Really pleased to say that yesterday we actually upgraded our HR and payroll system. And now we can actually start introducing more things, make things easier for people, actually pass over that responsibility for managing a team to the team manager rather than it being centrally sort of run, if you like. Excuse me. And we're doing sort of a lot of the bells and whistles are coming as part of our phase 2 of the implementation. Both Alex and I are really excited about it. We had a meeting with our head of service and manager last week to explain all the different functionality, and we've prioritised what we want to do. It has sent little flags up with our head of service about how this could support other initiatives in the council. We're also working far more closely with people like our HR systems team and our HR analytics team, which is sort of an added bonus or an added benefit that we didn't sort of really consider when we was doing the procurement, but it's sort of something that's happened as a result of moving to the, well, we call it the Learning Hub in Bristol. I think, unless you've got anything else to add, Alex.
I think, I mean, I would just say it's been, you know, to summarize, it's been really intuitive for our users to adopt as a new system. It's been intuitive for us to adopt, and that whole integration, be it through to our, you know, our HR system, or be that through to things like Teams as well for the meetings, has just been so logical, and it's presented us with loads of opportunities that I don't think we've explored half of them yet. Just, you know, and in the fullness of time, I'm really excited to see what, you know, we're going to be doing with it in 18 months, even a year. Like what the online learning will look like is going to be really cool. And I think that's because of A, the support we've had in the setup, and B,
Yeah.
the nature of the system itself anyway. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
great.
I think I would agree with you, Alex. You know, everything we're doing and everything we've done would have been so much more difficult if MHR weren't such a fab partner.
Oh, absolutely.
They've been so good, so supportive. They get back to us quickly. Cheryl, who's our account manager, has been fantastic, as well as Beth. So I mean, I highly recommend both the system and the provider. I think they've been really good.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything from us.
Yeah.
So it was lovely talking to you. And if you have got any questions for us, obviously hold them to the end of the webinar. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.